Good morning. Rod Fleming here. We're talking here about finding love in Asia for older men, over 50. And we've already discussed in general terms where you might meet girls. I suggest you look at the other videos for that. And I've already discussed one type of woman that you should really at all costs avoid, and that one was the gold digger. Now the second one I want to talk about here is the bar girl. Now this is a delicate area, so I'm going to do some explanation. You may not know what a bar girl is. Well, first of all, there is a big difference between a barmaid and a bar girl. Okay? If you go to any bar in Asia where there are Westerners or where there are a lot of guys, girly bar, anything like that, you will see these two categories of women. And by the way, I'm not just going to talk about women generally. I'm not going to differentiate between ladyboys and regular girls, because the same rules apply to both, and you find them out everywhere, all across the place, both types. So the two types are the barmaid and the bar girl, principally. Okay. Now the barmaids are easy to spot because they're the ones, often wearing a uniform, who'll be running around with trays in their hands serving drinks. That's what they do. They're barmaids. They're on the books of the bar, and all they do is serve customers. So it depends on the kind of bar. Some bars you have to order at the bar. Other bars, there will be these waitresses, barmaids, taking your orders, go away, and you give them a tip. You're not expecting anything for it. You might buy them a drink if they've been very nice to you. You might give them a nice tip if they've dealt with you all evening, just as you would with any barmaid anywhere. Okay, there's no difference. In a place like Pattaya or Angelis or, well, any kind of popular tourist resort, popular with Western males that is, then yeah, she possibly will be available for extra services, shall we say, but this will be in a freelance context. It would be a question of, can I see you after your shift? Something like that. Okay. I'll leave that one for you to find out for yourselves. It's not difficult. The other type is the bar girl. Now, a bar girl is a prostitute, right? A bar girl is a prostitute who is retained on the books of a bar, and her job is to get customers to drink as much as they can, basically. And it's one of the reasons Westerners are constantly ending up steamboats drunk, is because bar girls are there, encouraging them to drink. The bar exists to make money by selling alcohol and sometimes food. So the bar girl's job is to get you to drink lots. Now she is paid by the bar. Okay, the pay is not great. It's no better than a barmaid would get, but the duties are different. You can spot the bar girl because she's not going to be wearing a uniform. She'll be wearing an evening dress or a little black number or something like that. She'll be looking sexy, glamorous and available. Okay, because she is. When you buy a girl like this a drink, you buy her a lady drink, right? And lady drinks are normally double the price of a regular customer drink, and she gets the difference, right? Bar gets the profit from the drink. She gets the little bit as a kind of tip that comes from buying the expensive drink. So one thing to note is that this means that if a bar girl spends some time with you chatting and you don't need to tip her for that. If you're buying her drinks, those are the tips. She's getting paid. Now, a bar girl is always available for sexual services, right? She's a prostitute. If you want to take her back to the room, as they say, then you will indicate that you are interested, and at that point you'll make a deal with her. And please do make a deal before you leave the bar. That will involve paying to the bar what is called a bar fine, which is basically the bar's cut from her work. But the actual money that you pay to the girl, the girl doesn't pay the bar, you pay the bar. The actual money that you pay to the girl for services rendered, that belongs to her. She keeps it. Now, I'm going to do another one about the details of buying sex this kind of way. What I'm concerned that you know here is that, talking about both barmaids and bar girls, there is the possibility of entering into the kind of longer term relationship that I have mentioned before, particularly with barmaids, right, rather than bar girls. Because remember, the barmaid isn't really making the kind of money that a bar girl would make. A bar girl is a prostitute. A good prostitute in Thailand can make £3,000 to £4,000 euros a month. That's good money. She makes much more than a teacher or an office worker. She makes much more than most people who work in government service. Being a prostitute in these countries is a desirable occupation because it's so lucrative. And after all, let's be honest, what are you going to have to do for it? Do something you like doing, which is have sex. So, you know, it's a very popular occupation for both women and ladyboys, and that is why there's never any shortage, absolutely no shortage of women who are doing this in the hotspots all over Thailand and Southeast Asia, all over, because it's a lucrative, attractive career. You can make a long-term arrangement with a barmaid in a way you probably can't so easily with a bar girl, because a bar girl wants to work. She wants to get out there, meet more men, charge them whatever is going, 2,000 baht, which is what, $60 for her services. And she wants to do that as much as possible because she's putting away a nest egg. A barmaid might well be happy to essentially be your live-in lover as long as you cover her costs. And that will be a deal that you'll make, and you'll pay her a monthly stipend. That stipend has to be agreed. As I've said before, that starts in about the $250 mark. 10,000 baht, 10,000 pesos, something about that, and it'll go up. Don't pay more than $500 a month. Just don't. You know, I don't care how sexy she is. No. Just don't do it. For that, you'll get what we in Scotland call a baidian, a live-in lover who will cook for you, give you good sex every day, make sure that your clothes are clean and laundered, ironed, make sure that the place is nice and presentable. Generally speaking, be fun to have around and agreeable company. There you go, and you're sorted. The difficulty that I want to talk about here is because you're a guy and you're going to fall in love with her, aren't you? You schmuck. Don't do that. Do not ever fall in love with a prostitute. Please don't do it. You cannot succeed. It will fail, and you will be hurt, and you'll lose loads and loads and loads and loads of money. So please don't do it. I have nothing against prostitution. I think prostitution should be illegal everywhere. I think as soon as governments come in with this nonsense, which unfortunately idiot feminists are promoting, of banning prostitution, all you do is you drive it underground, create a black market, endanger women. Simple as that. That's all you do. You make life more dangerous for women, because anybody who thinks that men are going to stop buying sex or that women are going to stop selling it just because there's a law says so is nuts. That's the only word I can think of. Nuts. Criminally insane, frankly. But let's leave that to one side. I like prostitutes. Most of the prostitutes that I've met, I don't buy sex myself, okay? Because I just don't need to. But if I did need to, I would, but I don't. And I've used prostitutes in the past. I don't do it anymore, but the ones I know, and I have friends who have been or are current, at the moment prostitutes, are very nice people, and I like them. They're cool people, and they're not bad people. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just doing a job, which a lot of them enjoy, and it makes them loads of money, and they have considerable freedom because they don't have a boss, I mean, like any other freelancer, any other service industry person, you've always got the boss who's actually with you at the time, but you decide when you work, and you decide how that's going to go for you. Okay. The problem is, from your point of view as a man, that you have entered into this arrangement with. This is a barmaid. She's living with you. You're paying her. You fall in love with her. It's a disaster. Right? She has already linked being with you with getting money from you. Okay? Click. You'll never break that link. As long as you're with her, she'll want money. And you have to understand that in Asia, Southeast Asia generally, if you get involved with a girl, you basically get involved with her whole family. So there's going to be lots of requirements for, the sick buffalo syndrome, where, we need to send money home because the buffalo's sick, or the house needs a roof repair, or, it's going to be constant. And a girl who's already got this connection made in her head, you won't be able to resist her. If you say no, she'll just go, oh, well, fuck you, and leave. And you'll suddenly realise that she didn't really love you at all. She loves the fact that you gave her that ability to fulfil her duty to her family, to give them money. That's what she really loves. And she may have strong feelings for you, but at the end of the day, her duty to her family is more important than the feelings she has for you. So you will get dumped. If you say, no, I can't, I'm sorry, honey, the money's run out, that's it, you're history, pal. You're gone. And I don't care how much she says that she loves you. So that's a very, very good reason for not getting seriously emotionally involved with girls like this. If you're talking about bar girls, it's even worse. Just don't do it. The proper thing to do with a prostitute is to make love with her and then pay her. And by the way, in Asia, you always pay after the event. Pay her and say goodbye. That's it. Do not be falling in love with her. And the next night you fancy another girl, or the next 2 days later or whatever, take a different girl. Don't go back to the same one. Because this is what happens. And unfortunately, bar girls, they really encourage this. Because they call men who go from girl to girl butterflies. Now, it's not because they love you. They love your money, not you. But they know, because bar girls are incredibly good at being sexy, desirable women. When one of these women is focused on you, especially if it happens to be a 5'10" ladyboy, but that's another story. You really know it. I mean, you're totally focused on. You feel like a king because she is doing that feminine thing that they do, and it's all over you. You feel like you're in honey heaven because this girl is just being amazing. She's being everything you could possibly, all your dreams, all those fantasies you had about the ideal woman, who doesn't, by the way, exist. Everybody's human. She's doing it for you, but it's an act. It's an act. Understand that it's an act. Again, she might have feelings for you. But the fact is, you're paying her a lot of money to have those feelings for you. And if you go back to the same girl every night of the week, and you're giving her 50, 60 bucks, I mean, okay, you're on holiday. That's fine. Enjoy yourself. Blow the cash. That's what holidays are for. Get rid of it. Get it out your system, Give yourself the treat, do the favour, but do not fall in love with her. For goodness sake, laddie. At the end of it, you say bye-bye. And if you can't control yourself, if you feel that, oh, I really like this girl, I think I'm having feelings, just go to another girl. Please. It's the best cure of all. Because you'll suddenly find, oh, here's another girl who does this for me. And you do it again. Oh. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should treat legitimate relationships, with other individuals who are seeking a partner in this kind of way. I'm talking about business relationships, right? So it's no different from going to a different bar every night, instead of always to the same one. You might like that bar, but let's ring the changes. And because your emotions are involved, and because humans, the human pair bonding instinct is incredibly strong. It's innate. It's one of the strongest innate desires that we have, which is to form these strong pair bonds with other individuals. Now, men are really conflicted because men have two powerful urges. One is to screw every woman that walks. Yeah, I know, you do. And the other one is to bond with the perfect woman, so, which is kind of conflicting. Because what will happen is that you'll bond with the woman you thought was the perfect woman, but she's not. Because there is no perfect woman. Okay, they're human. We're all human. We all do bad things. We all have good days. We have bad days. It's just, we're human. So, you're falling in love with a person who isn't falling in love with you. She's just falling in love with the financial arrangement you've got in place. Even if you were able to have a relationship with a prostitute, and I've had this with an ex-prostitute, so, and I've known many, many men who've said the same thing. There's a problem, because she already has this association made in her brain between sex and money. Sex for her, because she's worked as a prostitute, has become commoditized. It's something she sells, right? So, I mean, she might not be working. Supposing she's retired, she's no longer working as a prostitute. Or she worked maybe as a prostitute in Japan, which is very common. You quite often find that girls will work as prostitutes long way away where the family isn't obviously seeing what's going on. When they come home, no, they don't do that because, you know, I'm at home, can't do that. But they've got the mindset. They've already got the mindset. They hook you and it's going to be, okay, I need a washing machine. And I need, well, you know, we did want to extend the house. I think it would be good if we could extend the house. You're going to be asked to pay for this. You'll find demands for money all the time. She's going to insist, and it's reasonable. You know, if you're working in the West, you're making more money than she is. A person in Thailand or the Philippines, especially up country, can comfortably live on 8,000 pesos, 8,000 baht, that's $200, a bit less than $200 a month. Not a problem, she'll be comfy at that. Well fed and comfortable. A prostitute is going to be asking for more and more and more. Oh, it's not enough. It just disappears. Yeah, of course, because she's blowing it. She's used to living the high life, you know. She's used to that idea of, I've got a man, or I have men, so I have money. I can blow money. That's what prostitutes do. You know, the prostitutes are very good with spending money. Trust me. Now, some of them are very good at saving it as well. I mean, I know a prostitute who has been working in Japan for a number of years. She has a beautiful, beautiful home. It's a gorgeous house. She has a lovely new car. She's in, you know, she's in her late 30s now. She's still a very lovely woman. She's got it all sorted out in her head, you know. When I'm 40, I'm going to retire. Look what I've got, you know. She's not married. She probably never will marry. But she's got the things in life that she wants in her life. She's got her grandnieces and, you know, she's a happy person. Sometimes prostitutes are very, very good with money, but not always. And one thing that's certain is they're going to be very good at spending yours. Really, really, really good. So remember this, that the prostitute, if she's in a relationship with you, is not actually in a relationship with you. She's in a relationship with your money, right? Because of that click. Sex, money. Sex, money. Blowjob. Aha. New dress. An hour of passionate sex all over the apartment. Ooh, maybe a new washing machine, new fridge. My mother, maybe I could give her I don't know what, you know. Maybe we could get them a car. It just will never stop. It won't ever stop. And if you're involved with a girl like this, and this is true, you know, you just have to read the newspaper reports, and I have met men like this, you will be ruined by this person. She will ruin you. She just will take everything. Because she thinks it's her right. That's it. She's commoditized sex. She's commoditized her body. It's a thing that she sells. So you have to pay. And if that payment bankrupts you, well, too bad. So that's why you just must not fall in love with a prostitute. Be friends with prostitutes. They're lovely people. Many of them are just really nice people. And you can have such good fun with them. They're very relaxed individuals, you know. And if you get horny and you know, perhaps we could, and she'll go, yeah, sure, let's go. It's fine. It's not a problem. Everything is cool. Just do not fall in love with a person like that. Don't do it. Don't even think about doing it. Try and control yourself. Men are really bad at controlling their emotions. Do try to control yours, because if not, the girl will control them, and that will ruin you. Just to finish up, a lot of guys who end up hanging around places like Pattaya, Bangkok, Philippines, Angeles, there's loads and loads of places, Cambodia, you know, Sihanoukville, places like that. Especially older guys, they've had some pretty rough times in the past. You know, they maybe gone through a divorce. They don't see their kids now anymore. And they've been pretty badly damaged. Women never understand how easily damaged men are and how important emotions are to men. Especially feminists who are awful people. And that will make you vulnerable. You know, that will make you weak and vulnerable. And any beautiful girl who wraps her arms around you and whispers in your ear and makes love to you and tells you how fabulous they are, despite the fact that you're many stones overweight and, you know, you definitely looked better 30 years ago. She has huge power over you, enormous power. And you must learn to resist that. There are great women in Asia, great women who will be a great partner for you, you know, who will be delighted to be your partner, who've maybe themselves had bad experiences and they want a guy like you. They're not the prostitutes. Have fun with prostitutes, pay them, say bye-bye. Okay?